BYU by 5. High screen, Davies. Jimmer's got room. 28-footer. Got it! Jimmer for 3! 8-point lead. Timeout, Utah. Jimmer goes between the legs, crosses over on O'Brien, takes to the lane, scoops and scores with the foul. Held it out with the right hand, off the window for 2. The foul to O'Brien. Jimmer for a 3-point play.
Welcome back to Jim Rome is Burning, presented by Bass Pro Shops.
Welcome back. My guest is a point guard for the 7th-ranked BYU Cougars. He's averaging better than 27 points per game this season. Jimmer Fredette joins me. Jimmer, great to have you. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jim? Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you on. I'm doing great, too. You know, you're getting huge Player of the Year run. Kevin Durant, of course, had that tweet saying that you were the best scorer in the world. They're writing songs about you back home. I'm guessing it's not that bad a deal being you right about now. What has this year been like?
You know, it's been crazy. It's been a lot different than you expect coming into the season. You know, I've been here for the last 3 years and 3.5 years, really, where, you know, we were a good team and, you know, people knew about us around the BYU community and, you know, some people here and there. But, you know, ever since that first Utah game, things kind of elevated and people kind of know us, you know, around the whole nation now. And, you know, it's been great to be getting all this national notoriety and have our team be playing well, be ranked in the top 10. And, you know, it's just great for this community. It's great for our school here, for myself, and just the, you know, recruiting here at BYU. So it's been a lot of fun.
You know, to that point, certainly those who know, but I think you're right. You took it to a whole nother level after San Diego State when you dropped 43 on them. That was the night that Kevin Durant got off that tweet. And all of a sudden you've got people, not just ballers or NBA players, but people across every spectrum tweeting about you. What was that night like? Was that a little bit surreal?
It really was. You know, I've never had a night like that where it was such a big game in the Mountain West Conference. It wasn't really a huge nationally televised game. Not a whole lot of people could watch, but you could tell that everyone around the country was really following that game, whether it was on ESPN, you know, .com or whatever it was. They were following that game to see the score, and you know, we ended up winning. I had a really good game, fortunately, that night, and I've never had, you know, the fans rush the floor at BYU before, and that was a great thing. And you just kind of felt like a rock star a little bit, just how, you know, people are tweeting about you and all the things that were said and how you were treated everywhere you went. And things just kind of elevated from that night. But, you know, it's been a great experience. I had a lot of fun, and, you know, hopefully we can continue to be like that, because that means we'll be doing good.
I thought you showed tremendous poise and composure both during the game and after the game that night. In fact, I've never seen you rattle. Where does that come from?
You know, I think it just comes from my upbringing, just, you know, always playing in tough situations, and a lot of times people have doubted me my whole entire life, and I just don't let things bother me when I'm playing in the game. You know, my brother has always taught me to have a short-term memory loss, especially when it comes to shooting shots. If you miss one, you know, don't worry about it. I have confidence in my ability that I'm going to make the next one, and try not to, you know, let opponents see that you're frustrated or your emotions, really, because then they don't know how to play. They don't know if they're getting into your head or anything like that. So I just try to stay as even keel as I possibly can, and you know, play the game, and then afterwards, obviously, I'll be, you know, either happy or sad depending on how the outcome is.
You know, you mentioned your brother TJ and playing in tough spots. Both of you have played at prisons before. You were at 18 the first time you did that. What was that like? That had to be intimidating.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was definitely intimidating at first. First time I went in there, you know, shaking a little bit. They just take you right through, and you walk right through the yard, and they open every door and close and lock every door right behind you as you're walking through, and then you get out into the yard, and all you see is just fences with barbed wire, you know, across everything. So you're really trapped. You can't get out, and it kind of just gives you a sense of what those inmates are feeling. And then when you get into the gym, all you see these guards on every corner of the gym with their guns, and then all of a sudden they open the doors and they let a bunch of inmates in to watch the game, and they fill up the seats and start betting and stuff, and they're yelling at you. Usually they want you to lose, you know, at first, but there's always a couple that, you know, want you to win because they'll bet on you. And you know, so it was just a fun experience. You know, it makes you more mentally tough to be able to play in any situation, really. And you know, it was a good time, and we always had fun.
I mean, were you there to talk to the prisoners, or was that a basketball visit? How'd that come to be?
You know, how it came to be was my next door neighbor, their uncle actually ran the recreation, part of the prisons, and they just thought it would be a good idea, to have the prisoners that were on good behavior to kind of have a basketball game, and they knew that, we would be game to play basketball no matter what. They know that our family has always been into basketball and athletics, and they asked us, and TJ jumped right on, and TJ was like, yeah, I want to do that, and Jimmer's going to come with me too, and all of his friends and all my friends, we're going to go up and we're going to play, and it's going to be fun. So he just thought it was a cool thing, and that's how it came to happen, and it turned out pretty good.
Ball up. I mean, you've met every single challenge up until now. What about the next challenge? I know you'll tell me that you're focused on the things right in front of you, but that next level, the NBA, do you expect to dominate on that level the way you are right now?
I expect to go in and play well. I want to go and just whatever team I go to, I just want to make an impact and play well, right from the start, be able to be a contributor and just help the team win. It was kind of my same mentality as coming into, college. I just wanted to, be a good teammate and go out and play the best that I possibly could and show them that I could play at this level, get my teammates' trust, get my coaching staff's trust. And then after that, maybe hopefully I'll be able to get minutes and be able to show what I can do. And I think that once I get on the floor and actually start playing, that I'll show people that I can be at that level, that I can play at that level and succeed at that level. And that's what I'm looking to do.
Scoring points on and off the floor. Jimmer, great job. Nice to have you on. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Good stuff. I enjoyed it. Welcome back. Time now for the Forum. I'm joined by a radio and TV personality, Andrew Siciliano. Andrew, good to see you, bro. How you doing?
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to have you back. All right. Let me talk first about Jimmer Fredette. You've done this a long time. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Number one, that kid is smooth. Came off extremely well. Really nice interview. How do you think he'll do on the next level?
I have no reason to believe that he can't do well. He's got size. He's not Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry came in at like 125 pounds, right? He's big. He's got a legitimate first step. He's a natural scorer. People keep going back to the Kevin Durant tweet when he dropped 43, how he's the greatest scorer on earth. He can beat people. He's not going to be just a stand-up shooter that you stick him in the corner, you try to drive and kick and hope he hits a shot. He can legitimately play. Now, I don't know if he could guard Chris Paul or Darren Williams or Rajon Rondo, but how many guys legitimately can? You always hear, well, we don't have the speed to guard the fast ones in the NBA.
Right.
Who legitimately does?
Sure. Now, what are we talking about? I know, I really believe he's going to play at the next level. I think he'll have success. Can we talk about, or are we talking about a guy who can consistently get his own? Is he going to start? I mean, when you say well, how well?
I think he's a starter. I think he's a potential all-star. I legitimately do. He can play, he can pass, he can score. He isn't simply a guy that you got to set up. He could set other people up. He has speed, and he wants to take the big shot, right? We got a league full of guys making 7 figures. They don't want to take the big shot. He wants it. He's a killer.
I think all-star might be a stretch, but I'll say this about this guy. I wouldn't bet against him. I would not bet against him, and I'd buy stock in him right now if I could.
He plays in prisons.
He does, and he's not afraid.